Hey everyone. Okay, so in this segment, I'm going to discuss with you who should replace Bob Iger. Bob Iger is currently the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. This topic is actually kind of depressing for me. I'll be real honest with you. I love Bob Iger. Okay, I feel like Bob Iger has done such amazing things with the company. The man is brilliant. Okay, he's like the Tony Stark of Disney. He's awesome. Okay, man, I mean, there isn't an area of the Walt Disney Company that he hasn't transformed and turned into an amazing success. Between Walt Disney Animation, the theme parks, everything. Since Bob Iger took over in 2006, I think the stock price has gone up 300%. 300%. Bob Iger was smart enough to know, like, for example, in 2006, or I think it was 2006 or 2007, he decided to buy Pixar. Okay? He bought Pixar. He didn't buy Pixar to have, the library, the film library of Pixar. I mean, that was part of it, but that wasn't the reason. Bob Iger bought Pixar because he knew that if he bought Pixar, guess what? He bought the talent. He bought John Lasseter. Okay? He bought Pete Docter. So not only would he acquire the past film successes that Pixar has done, he'd have the talent and the brilliance behind those films going forward to make more of those films. Okay, so he did the same thing with Lucasfilm when Lucasfilm is the parent company of Star Wars and Indiana Jones. He did the same thing with them. He bought Lucasfilm, brought them into the Disney umbrella, brought them into the Disney fold, and now we're able to have actually really good Star Wars movies going forward. I feel like his method, his tactics have been really spot on, brilliant for Disney. He's really respected the past while looking towards the future. I mean, the stuff that they're doing is forward thinking. Like, for example, a film like Frozen or a film like Moana. They're progressive in the sense that these princesses are independent. They don't need a man. They're strong female leads. But when you watch these films, you still feel like, wow, this is a classic Disney movie. They still have the music, they still have the classic Disney feel, but it respects that past, that history, that heritage. However, it kind of also is relevant to today. Where the Moana doesn't need a man. Anna and Elsa, they don't need. It's different. It's of today, but it respects the past. So Bob Iger has done such a great job at doing that, and even like with Star Wars, we saw the same thing. He respects the history, the nostalgia of Star Wars, but he's not afraid to take it in a new direction. So it's relevant for future audiences, like what he's doing with Rogue One and these standalone films. I think Bob Iger overall has done such a brilliant job. And actually, to be quite honest with you, when he leaves the company in 2018, I'll be really depressed. Okay, I really like Bob, and I think he's done a fantastic job. Is it perfect? Has he done everything? Has everything been perfect? No, not at all. Everything hasn't been perfect. A company the size of Disney, you're never going to get it perfect. There's always going to be areas that need help. Right now, ESPN is really struggling. I personally, I don't like the Disney cartoon television shows. I feel like they look like cheap Nickelodeon stuff. Compared to the TV shows they were doing in the 90s with like DuckTales and Tailspin, this new stuff looks really cheap to me. So do I feel like everything under Bob Iger has been perfect? Not at all. But the vast majority of what he's done and what he's accomplished, I think, has been way more positive than the negative. Way, way, way more positive. Now, here's the thing. he's going to retire in a couple years. He has not announced a successor yet. It was kind of assumed for a while that Tom Staggs, which was like his number 2, and Staggs has been with the company for a while, I think since like 94, 95. It was pretty much assumed that he would actually take the reins. He would become the CEO once Bob Iger steps down. Well, last year, Tom Staggs left the company. It was kind of a surprise to everybody, but Tom Staggs left. So now we're kind of left like, well, okay, who's gonna replace Bob Iger? And I'm here to tell you, I honestly have no idea. I don't really know. I mean, there's been a few names. Kathleen Kennedy, who currently runs Lucasfilm, she might get a promotion and become the successor. There's been rumors that Meg Whitman, she's a former executive of eBay, she might get the spot. There's also an executive, I believe her name is Sheryl Sanderson, I believe, or Sandberg. She's an executive over at Facebook. There's rumors that she might get the job. I really don't know. I personally, judging on how Bob Iger has operated in the past, I think that whoever becomes the new CEO will actually be acquired, or whatever you want to say, or hired through an acquisition. So what I mean by that is I think that Bob Iger will announce that he's going to acquire a company, and within, based on that acquisition, the CEO of that company will become the new CEO. I feel like that's what he's going to do. He's done that all along with talent. He's done it with Star Wars. He bought Lucasfilm for the talent and the franchise. He did it with Pixar. Okay, he bought the Pixar library, the film library, but he also bought the talent that came along with it. I think what he's going to do is he'll probably end up buying something like Netflix, and the CEO of Netflix will become the new CEO of Disney, this new company, this new larger company. I think that's pretty much the route Bob Iger is going to go, because that's the route he's gone the entire time. That he's been head of Disney. He's been running this company since I think it was September of 2006, and that's how he's operated. So Disney. There's been a lot of rumors about Disney buying Netflix, or some sort of streaming service to help, their cable business, because the cable business is really struggling right now. That's why ESPN is having such a hard time. So if they bought the streaming business, that would help that whole thing. It would also make Disney, it would help them going forward with their content. They have a platform. To distribute their movies and their shows and everything. So I think if I was a betting man, okay, if I was to guess, I'm guessing that Disney will acquire maybe Netflix or a company similar to that. And upon that acquisition, whoever the CEO is of that company, that's who will take over Disney. That's my prediction. Again, it's a shot in the dark. I have no idea. I have obviously no inside information. I don't know Bob Iger personally, but I feel like based on his history and based on how he's behaved in the past, I feel like that's probably the route he's going to go. Again, I'm super sad to see Bob Iger leave. I don't feel like he's been a perfect head of Disney, but he's been pretty close. I mean, he's done some amazing things with Disney. I'm really sad to see him go in, I think a year and a half he's leaving. I think it's June of 2018. Super sad to see him go, but I actually really trust him. I think that whoever he does pick to be the new head of the Walt Disney Company, I trust that it will be someone that's really quality and that's capable, and that will lead the company in a positive direction going forward. But I would be lying to you if I told you that I wasn't at least a little nervous. I am nervous because, like we've seen with Michael Eisner, it doesn't, the wrong leader can really cause a lot of damage, and it makes me really nervous when we're changing the CEO of this company that I care about deeply. I love Disney, and I want to see it succeed. And I feel like handing it over to somebody else, it's really rolling the dice. So you never know. But that's what I think. I think Bob Iger, he's gonna make a power play for like Netflix or something like that, and then upon that merger, will emerge the new CEO / successor to Bob Iger. So that's my thoughts. Go ahead and comment below on who you think will replace Bob Iger and what you think of Bob Iger's job as CEO overall. He's been head of Disney now for 10 years. What do you think? So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. And please subscribe, like, and comment below. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.